Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jennie will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. I am here helping you whip your business into shape. And today I have with me Michelle Lee Myrter. And Michelle Lee was most recently spotlighted as one of the great, amazing sponsors on the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Virtual Summit. And so if you did not get to see the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Virtual Summit in September of 2021, make sure you go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com, click on Summit, and you can still purchase the Business Builder or the Leadership Accelerator package. So that way you can check out not just Michelle's presentation, but all 23 other presentations that we had that were so amazing and wonderful. But let me tell you guys a little bit about Michelle Lee, because if you didn't go to the summit, or if you did go to the summit and you missed Michelle, let me tell you about her. She's an award-winning coach and trainer, and she's an international professional speaker who comes from a 28-year background in sales and marketing for a $12 million company. And she's also spent many years in purchasing. She built a very successful food company while also building a successful direct sales business. Yeah, your ears just perked up, right? Because you're like, yes, she's done what I want to do. Michelle Lee is going to give you a system, a tool, and training that will not only exponentially increase your income and give you the ability to close deals faster, but it will save you time, energy, and money and take your relationships with your family and friends to a whole new level. So welcome to the show, Michelle Lee.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
I am too, because I had such a blast. Well, first of all, I had a great time chatting with you before we even got on the summit together, getting to know you, getting to know about the bank, all of that. And then of course on the summit, like I love this bank system. It's fascinating to me, the way that it works and where it came from in the history. So why don't you tell everybody how you got into coaching with this bank system?
Well, first of all, your summit was amazing. And whoever, go back and listen to those speakers because they blew me away. I stayed for the whole thing and loved every minute of it.
Yeah, you did. That was so awesome. I love it when speakers stay and check it out. Oh, so cool.
It was so worth it. So worth it. But I ended up getting involved in becoming a coach by accident. Like I had no intention of doing this. I had my business. I had my direct sales business. When I went through the coaching program, I mean, it just changed everything. Light bulbs went off. You had those aha moments where everything in your life made sense. And you were like, wow, wait a second. This is so powerful. And it changed the way that I communicated with everyone, even my kids. And it's something that everyone needs to know how to do because people are so quick to judge people by how they show up. In those first few minutes, they're like, I like this person or I don't, right? Every single person that you come across, you can learn something from. Every single person you come across, you can find a way to connect with them. It gives you the ability to take off your lens and say, wait a second. Maybe I don't see what you see, but I want to know why you see that.
Yeah. And when you can connect at that level, when you can not only understand what they're saying, but where they're coming from, it elevates that relationship to next level in an unbelievable way and shows up in things like team members, new customers, loyal customers, not just loyal customers, but raving customers who bring you more. right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because everybody needs different information to process. They all need to be led differently. They all need to be motivated differently. And they all need different language. It's like we all speak a foreign language. And if you're speaking your own language and not the person in front of you, you're losing them. Whether they're your team, your customer, your prospect, your family, your spouse, whoever it is, they're not understanding you. And it's causing a huge disconnect. That's why, direct sales it's such an opportunity for so many people, but people struggle because it's hard. And they all have been told it's a numbers game and just go out and talk to enough people and something's going to stick, right? Throw enough out there, poof, you're going to get something. Well, it's frustrating. It's defeating. It makes people burn out and they lose hope. And they're like, well, I can't do this. I believe that every single person who is in direct sales right now can be that person on stage. They all have the ability to do it, but they have to tailor their message to the person that's in front of them. If they give them the right information, their odds of getting a yes instead of a no are way better. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it sounds daunting to have to cater a conversation to every person who's in front of you. And I want to let the listener know that that's just not the case, because you really don't have to learn 7 billion different ways to speak, right? It's really just understanding these 4 different personality types and how they interact with each other. Well, not even personality types, 4 different parts of personality, I guess.
So, well, and think of it this way. If you went to a foreign country, would you expect everybody to cater to the way you speak, or would you try to learn the language?
I would try to learn the language. Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing. You're dealing with 4 different types of personalities, but they show up 24 different ways, which is why people think it's a numbers game, because mathematically it is. If you're not knowing exactly who's in front of you, it is a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
And then a lot of people say, well, I want to be my authentic self. Well, you are being authentic. You're also having enough respect for the other person who's sitting in front of you to speak their language and understand what they need, right? So there's times that I would go out there and I was so excited. I'm that high action, nurturing, loving, right? I'm out there and I'm talking to people and I'm throwing stuff at them. Like I was turning 75% of the people off. The nurturers were like, wow, she's just way too much, too aggressive, too all of that. Like,
yeah.
The blueprint people, right? They want stability and structure. And I was far from that. I looked like a huge risk. I was out there just flying by the seat of my pants. Right. Your high knowledge people, they were like, they need the science, the research, and the data. They don't want small talk. They don't want someone who's coming at them who looks like they just drank a Red Bull. And so you need to like tone yourself down. You need to, and in the direct sales business, a lot of the action and the nurturing types of people are attracted to it because of the community. Your nurturing people are all about community. So they want to be a part of something bigger. They want to be on that mission. They want to help people, but they don't want to sell anything. They want to give it away. Right?
And that's not how you build a business.
No. But that's what they're attracted to, being part of that team, part of that community. And they'd rather give it away, honestly, right? Your action people are just all go, 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 go. And they're just flying and they're getting the sales, they're doing the things, but they're still turning 75% of the people off. So they could be doing even better, right?
Yeah.
And all 4 of those codes are very important. Everyone has a superpower. If you present the business opportunity and the product in a way that they understand, you're going to attract all of them and you're going to have a very balanced, ultra performing team.
Ooh. I really hope everybody's ears just perked up on that one, guys, because having an ultra balanced, super performing team, because you know how to speak to your team members in a way that they actually do something.
Right?
Powerful. So tell us how this showed up in your business, because I know you were introduced to the bank coding system through your direct sales business. Is that correct?
Correct. I went to a conference and Sherry Tree, the creator of the system, blew me away when I saw her speak. I was like, wow, wait a second. This makes sense. So the whole conference, I had cards, I'm handing them out, I'm decoding all of the people there. I'm like, listen, no, you guys have to check this out. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, now I get it. Because all of a sudden it clicked that, wow, it's not that I was going out there and people were just, I was just getting all of these no's because they weren't interested. It was the way I presented it.
Mm.
And it wasn't that, the people they were bringing on, you have those people who come onto your team and you're like, yes, this is my rock star. They are going to crush it. And then they don't do anything. Right. You're like,
right.
What happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened with me. I didn't have any wish to be part of a direct sales business. Like I was like, I don't even know what that is. I'm good. Right. So I said no. The girl came back. She was like, listen, like you're referring people like crazy. You might as well just do this. I was like, all right, whatever. Right. So I signed up. I don't even know what I signed up for. All of a sudden I got a check in the mail and I was like, whoo, this is pretty nice. For the first year and a half, I couldn't even tell you how I got paid. I had no idea. I didn't look at the comp plan. I didn't care.
Right.
But
you're just taking action.
Right. But the first day, she bombarded me with stuff, videos, this, that, all the things. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm out. This wasn't what I signed up for.
Yeah.
Right. So then I went distant and I was like, until I got the check. And then I was like, oh, wait a second. But it was too much information. I just wanted somebody to say, here, you know what? You want to check? This is what you got to do. Go get it. And I would have been off and running, right? Another person would have needed all of that information in a step-by-step system of what they needed to follow, how they needed to do it. Somebody else might have needed that hand-holding. I'll do everything with you. We'll make it a team effort. Where another person would be like, you know what? Give me all the science, give me all the research, give me a booklet, give me every expert I can talk to, and I'll get back to you when I'm ready. Right?
Yep.
So all of those different things came into play. And then all of a sudden, when Sherry spoke, I was like, wow, I could literally see it through my eyes of all the times that I blew it. Literally like that, blew it. Right? I was just thinking, how can I recoup these people that I just, vomited all of my information on so quickly? Because I was telling stories and I was telling my experience and I didn't go into details or all of that. Right.
Right.
But I blew it. My food business, right? I had a deal, it was $150,000 deal come through the door. And within, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, I blew it. Literally blew the entire deal. And I did what anybody else would have done, right? I walked out of there angry. I had to spend 2 days with a woman first, then really blew it. I walked out of there angry, blaming her. What an idiot. Oh, I can't believe this, blah, 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 right? Because it's easy to blame everybody else.
Right.
I went through the coaching program and all of a sudden a light bulb went off and I said, oh my gosh, I know what I did wrong. Wow. It wasn't her. It was me. I completely turned her off. And so I actually had her come back and I wronged the right. I right the wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right and the wrong. Yes. Good.
So, and I actually was able to recoup that deal and it's worth $250,000 right now.
Nice.
But it was all how you presented it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No. And that, let's face it, It's true that statement right there is true in every aspect of life. If whether or not you can get your kids to clean their room, it's all in how you present it. Whether or not you can get them to eat their Brussels sprouts, it's all in how you present it. Whether or not
Exactly.
you're getting laid, it's all in how you present it.
Exactly. And you know what? Here's the other thing. It doesn't matter if it's a $150,000 deal
Mhm.
or if it's a $20 deal.
Yeah.
When you're trying to build a business, every single deal matters.
Yeah. It absolutely does.
And everyone is worth more than $150,000, right? That
Oh, yeah.
$20 deal in my direct sales company was worth a ton. It was worth everything to me. It was
Yeah.
worth my confidence. It was worth my business. It was for my team. It was for all of us. It was
Mhm.
worth way more than that $150,000 deal.
Yeah. It was worth more than the money.
Right.
More than the money. I mean, because for a lot of people in direct sales and network marketing, what they really and truly value is how they can help others, how
Exactly.
they can build community, how they can be independent and free and not be beholden to a 9 to 5, 40 to 60 hour job, right?
Absolutely.
It's worth so much more than the money.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh God, I
And
love
how
this.
many people was I not able to help because I didn't speak their language?
Mm,
Right.
yeah. So what happened? I know you've got some numbers from what happened in Sherry's business when she started using the bank code, right? I remember seeing those numbers in your presentation in the summit and my jaw just like dropping because it was significantly different. The number of people that she was helping, and which is measurable by the amount of money you make, right?
Right. So her first year before bank, she made $700 a year. She was starving. And
Mm,
so that's what happened. She poured into all the sales training, all the coaching, all the personal development. She went into debt, right? And she was able to get an increase to $72,000 a year, which was great,
hmm,
but she didn't feel successful.
yeah.
And so she was in the financial business, right? And so I love this story because one of the guys that she was trying to do a deal with said, "Well, Sherry, where do you put your money?" And she jokes, she's like, "My money, I don't have any money. That's why I need you to sign on the dotted line." Right. So she's like, so she was telling people what they should do with their money when she didn't have any. And she said, "You know
Mm,
what? Until I make $1 million a year, I'm not going to tell anybody where they can put their money because I don't have any to put anywhere." Right. So
mm,
she thought that she was broken, or was it the system? What she found out was it was the system that was broken. And so she, took this personality assessment. She was like, "You know what? Personality science goes back to Hippocrates. I wonder if, based on people's different personalities, if they buy differently." And what she found out was yes, actually they do.
mm,
And that was the game changer. So after the first year, she was up over $500,000 by using the system. Everyone on her team had to use the system.
mm.
And then
So
after 3 years, it was over a million and something.
yeah, I think it
No,
was 1 point.
yeah,
I
yeah,
I remember seeing like 1.2 and then 3 point something. Like there were like multiple things on the chart there. I remember. So I want to point out to everybody. Okay, year one, $700. She does self development, learns more to earn more, $72,000. Right. So she just 10,000x,
right.
10,000x her income just by learning and developing herself, taking action, doing the thing. But then when she included bank, she went from 72,000 to 500,000, $500,000, people, in 3 years.
That was the first year. That 500,000 was the first year, I
Oh, the
believe.
first year of bank.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, y'all,
And
y'all.
right. And if you think about it, right? Sales is not about numbers. It's about people.
Right.
It's about human beings. So if you want to get extraordinary results, you need to learn about people.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to know your audience and know how to communicate with them.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's give an example here because, so first of all, let's let everybody know. Okay. So the BANK, the reason it's called the bank code system is because those are the letters of the 4 personality types, right? So let's go through really quickly. The BANK, they are
blueprint, inside the box, structure, stability, systems, planning, hate, risk, love rules, all about the rules. If you say rules are meant to be followed, probably high blueprint.
Okay.
Action, blew up the box, shrapnel laying all over the place, rocket ships flying out of it. They're like little firecrackers in your hand. They're the movers, the shakers, your millionaire makers. They want freedom, opportunity, fun, excitement, spontaneity, all of the things, right? Your nurturers, they recycled the box, put a little gift inside, wrapped it up, baked a pie, and gave it away. All about community, teamwork, ethics, nonprofits, making this world a better place. And your knowledge, they're like, listen, people, without me, you wouldn't even have a damn box. I engineered it. And they need all the science and the data and the research logic. It has to make sense. There's 12 values that are associated with each of the codes. And like I said, 24 different ways they can show up. So an action nurturer is going to show up way different than an action blueprint. And there's a stress code. And keep in mind, the last code is what we stay away from when people are trying to sell us.
Yep. I would agree because I've taken my assessment with you, and you and I share the same bank code, ANBK. So, shocker, Jenny's an action taker and a nurturer. I bet you guys are all totally surprised by that, depending on how long you've been listening to this podcast, guys. And the blueprint part makes sense because I do like to have a system. But here's the thing I've learned about me. I kind of like to develop the system myself.
Right. Well, and that's where your first code and your third code come into play.
Right.
So like when I get stressed out, I go into blueprint. So I work better under pressure because all of a sudden I have a structure, I have a plan, I have a real notebook instead of Post-it notes all over the place, right? Maybe I clean and organize my house, but my A, my first code, and my B come up kind of together. So like it's my rules. I made them.
Yep.
And it's my structure and plan, and no one can tell me how to do them. And so that's where you're like, oh yeah, all those 4 codes really matter when you're knowing who's in front of you, right?
Yeah. And that last one, the last code, the K, if you want to keep me from buying whatever it is that you are selling, tell me everything you know about it.
Right? And you're like, oh my God, make it stop.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And it's really funny because I'm pretty sure my boyfriend has K either as his first or second code. I need to have him go take your thing so he can know too. But I'm pretty sure his K is like closer to the front because there are times when he's talking and my brain checked out 3 minutes ago.
Right.
I have no idea. And I know he's finally figured out that at some point he'll look at me and I haven't gone, or whatever in a while. And he's like, you have no idea what I said. Nope. You've been talking way too long.
It sounds like Peanuts teacher. Wah, 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 wah,
wah. Wah. Like, yep, nope, you lost me. The last thing I remember you saying was this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You want to just kill me right now. Just say I'm going to pull out a slideshow with charts and graphs.
Oh,
I'll curl up. I'll be like, no, please don't do that. No charts and graphs.
No. And he would be all over that. He'd be like, yes, that'd be great. Especially if it's about technology. Give me more of that, please.
Right. Yeah. And then, so they're the ones that are going to ask a ton of questions. They're the one you can't close high knowledge. They have to close themselves because they can't be wrong. Right. So that's your hardest person. But when you do close them, they're going to be your best customer because they're going to bring all their high knowledge friends.
Yep.
And
Yep.
they're the expert to them.
And they will be a raving fan too.
Right.
I mean, I definitely believe that. Because when I think back to some of my team members from when I was active in direct sales, the ones who were the most raving fans of mine as a leader, the ones of the business were the case that took me forever to get them to just freaking enroll.
Right.
But then when they finally did,
questions,
oh my God. Yes.
Questions you didn't even know it could even exist. You'd be like, that's a good question. Let me find out what that even is. Like just even words that they use, you're like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, give me a minute. I need a dictionary. Just let me Google that real quick. Yeah.
I've done that. I've been on a call with somebody. I'm like, wait, what does that mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, absolutely. And what's really interesting is they ask you all the questions. And they're also slow to process.
Yes. So if you say something that doesn't make sense, they'll be stuck there. So everything you say after that, they don't even understand what you're saying. It's all gone because they're still trying to put the pieces together of what you said where they lost you or whether you lost them. They can go into analysis paralysis. They can overthink everything and they never want to be wrong. So if they tell you something, you don't want to disagree with them because it will just turn into a fight.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Here, let me show you the 17 references I have to prove that what I believe to be so is so. Yes. Yeah. Those are the really fun people to argue with on Facebook. And I say that very, very sarcastically because I just don't argue on Facebook anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my oldest son is a BKNA.
Oh my God.
So yes, it took me 18 years in bank to actually make me realize that, wow, I was doing it all wrong. And there's a way easier, better way to communicate with them. And now we get along great. We have the best relationship ever. But that was one of my main driving forces when I went through the program because it changed our lives. They did not want to be here with me at all. And that was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But, if I could do it wrong for 18 years with my own child who I loved with everything in my heart, imagine going out there and trying to talk to people in an hour conversation and trying to connect with them and understand what their values are. I stressed my son out every single day. Didn't even know it. So, everybody can be better.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And the process that you shared, I mean, just the assessment itself, I love how simple it is because it takes 90 seconds for most people.
And give or take for the case.
Because they're going to read every single word before they make a decision, right?
They're going to analyze it. It'll take them a little longer.
Yeah. But it was really easy to, number one, take. And then, of course, reading the report was, and I'm someone who's been involved in personality assessment, literally, my degree is in psychology. I got my degree in psychology in the 90s. Yes, people, before the 2000s. So this was back when assessments were given on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you had to give an assessment and then go through and you had to create the report because there were no computers that could do that yet. It wasn't happening. These BuzzFeed quiz style things were not happening on computers back then. We were just learning how to email, guys. And so I've been involved in personality assessment and understanding personality for years. And I loved the simplicity of this. truly, truly love the simplicity of this because it does break it down into something that's very easy to understand. And it does help you begin to understand not only yourself, but then those around you to be able to then have a conversation that it doesn't manipulate. Because I want people to understand that talking to people in their own language and in the way that they would prefer to be spoken to is not manipulation. That's communication.
Correct.
That is communication. That's what communication is. Not speaking in the language you want to speak in the way that you want to speak it. Communication is what people respond back to you with so that you know that they got what you were trying to what you were trying to convey. So by knowing this bank system, you can begin to truly communicate with those around you and more than just the 25% of people who happen to be in your life who happen to have the same starting bank code as you. So you just tend to be at least close enough that they're willing to have the conversation.
Exactly.
You know? Oh my gosh. So for for the listeners who are like right now going, okay, sold. I want to know more. Where do I take it? First of all, can they take the assessment with you?
Absolutely. Completely free, complimentary. Take the assessment, get your free report, crack your family's codes too. Highly
Woohoo.
recommend.
Yeah, I'm going to be sending this to my Marcel. Y'all know that's happening soon. Maybe even get my kids to take it.
And crack their team's codes.
Yeah. Ooh, people. If you have a team already, get your team on this code too. So, what is the link where they can grab that code?
It is crack my code /Michelle.Myrter, Myrter, and you will put it in the
Yeah.
where
Oh, yeah.
click it.
Yep. I will put the link in the show notes, guys. So again, it's crackmycode.com /Michelle.Myrter, Myrter. And grab the show notes. If you are new to the podcast and you don't know how to grab the show notes, all you have to do is pick up your phone, as long as you're not driving, click on the episode and scroll up or scroll down, depending on which platform you're on. And you will see that there's a bunch of show notes that has Michelle's contact information. And we will have it in big, bold, linky letters saying, here's where you can take your code, and just use the same link for yourself, for your team members, for your family members, whomever you're having take the bank assessment. You can get that code from the show notes. Just copy, paste, send it to your family, send it to your friends, send it to upcoming customers that you're going to be talking to, see if they'll take it. How do you recommend? Ooh, that's a good question. We didn't even hit that on the summit. So those of you who are listening to the podcast right now, you're getting some new information. So Michelle Lee, if somebody wants to send this to a potential customer / team member, how might they position this to get this person to take the assessment so that they have a better conversation?
So there's a couple different ways. Well, one is you want to power script. So you want to talk in all 4 codes. So you want to say, do me a favor and look at the information on these cards from the link, right?
Mhm.
That's your K. Put them in order from most like you to least like you. That's your blueprint. This will help me get to know you better, serve you better, understand you better. You're nurturing, and save us both a lot of time. Your action.
Mm. Say that
So
again. Say that again. Because they're all like, wait, I want to write that down. Say it again.
do me a favor, look at the information on the cards. Put them in order from most like you to least like you. This will help me to get to know you better, help me serve you better, and save us both a lot of time.
Boom. Boom. Pause it. Rewind it 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever the little rewindy button is on your podcast player of choice, and go back and listen to what she just said again. And that's how you get other people to take the bank code so that you can have a conversation with them that's actually productive for both of you, creates relationship for both of you. That, my friends, is how it's done. But mic drop, Michelle Lee. Boom.
Love it. Love it.
Oh my gosh. So I so appreciate you offering this opportunity for people to take this complimentary assessment with you and be able to learn who they are and how they can better show up in their business and their life with their family and friends in just understanding who they are and beginning to understand their family and friends. So thank you so much for taking time and being here on the show today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I always love hanging out with you, and I can't wait for your next summit.
Oh, yay. March 24th, 25th, and 26th of 2022. It's coming up already. I'm like, oh my gosh, 5 months away now.
Oh my God, you come so fast.
It will. The second summit snuck up on me faster than the first summit did, I swear. So, and there was 6 months between those two, and it was 3 months from the time I started planning the first one. So I don't know how the math works on that, but it just did. Probably just because I'm time blind with my ADD. But that's okay. Well, thank you again for being here, Michelle Lee. I so appreciate you sharing this with our badass crew, because they really do love this kind of information and they thrive on it. These types of episodes are almost always my top downloaded ones because they share this with their team. They share this with their upline, their downline, their sideline. So guys, if you also want to know how to get a hold of Michelle Lee in order to maybe come speak to your team about banks so that you can learn more, because I'm guessing you do those kinds of conversations, right, Michelle?
I do. Absolutely. I love to talk to teams. And if any of your viewers want to set up a complimentary 30-minute session, I would be happy to offer that because of you, and you're amazing.
Thank you. Listen to that, guys. Go take her up on that offer. Not only do you get the free assessment, but 30-minute strategy session with her. Just pause right now and go do it. Just go do it. Hurry up before you forget. Don't let life get in the way. If you're driving your car, pull over right now, pull into random person's driveway, fill out the stuff, go back to driving to Target. It's all good. Just do it now. Okay. Don't miss out on this opportunity, because my conversation with Michelle Lee was extraordinary. And that's why I'm bringing her not only on the summit, but bringing her to you here on the podcast, and we'll continue collaborating with Michelle Lee, because what she has to offer is amazing. And I'm super excited to be able to share this with you guys. So, well, Michelle Lee, you have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you again. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Now, badass crew, you know how this goes. Stay tuned, because there is another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.